I'm John Kormanik, CEO and head coach at John R. Kormanik Coaching. Today, I'm going to talk about a critical pattern I see every November. As I speak, it's approaching the end of the year. You are hopefully deep in planning for the next year, and you're doing what you've always done, looking at budgets, KPIs, headcounts, revenues, all those things. The problem is you're trying to build an eight-figure future from a six-figure or seven-figure trench, from the trenches, and your real breakthrough won't be found in the trenches. That's not where it is. The title of this presentation, The Altitude Audit, came to me during a flight from Boise to Seattle. Gazing down at the ground below, I had a different perspective than I would have from the terminal or even from the runway. Today, we're going to conduct the altitude audit. This is a work. And I'm going to show you why the vision you need for 2026 won't be found anywhere in your 2025 calendar. We are 25 minutes as always. There will be work to do. There will be something for you to take away. Let's dive into the altitude audit. All right. So, as a managing partner, your calendar it's a fort, it's a fortress built to withstand the daily barrage of client demands, associate fires, operational minutia. I hope your calendar is that if you're doing time blocking correctly, if you have your do not disturb time. Um, but a fortress is a defensive structure, right? It keeps you safe. It keeps you um, protected, right? You cannot launch a new vision from behind a wall. It's really that simple. You cannot launch a new vision behind a wall. Your greatest 2026 breakthroughs for your 2026 or whatever year you're watching this, right, are not in your calendar. They're not there. Stop looking. Recently I talked about the eight-figure blind spot. This that I'm talking about right here, right now, trying to build a vision from behind a wall is the root cause of it all. You haven't hit a performance ceiling if you're not getting to eight figures and you want to get there. You haven't hit a performance ceiling. You've hit a perspective ceiling. You're trying to solve your firm's biggest challenges from the inside, from your office, during quick 30-minute bursts, or even you might even have an off-site with yourself or with your partners, but you're looking at the wrong things. You're looking at KPIs. You're in the trenches, right? There's a time and place for that, for sure. Don't get me wrong. It is not when you're casting your vision for the next year. It's not there. As I've said before, and I'll say again many, many times, you cannot read the label on the cereal box from the inside. Your high performance is exactly what keeps you trapped when you try to do that. I think I can. I think I can do it this time. I think I can be in that space. I mentioned my flight from Seattle to Boise, I'm sorry, from Boise to Seattle. I had to make a connection in Seattle to get to San Francisco to get on a flight to Doha, Qatar. And my flight out of Boise going to Seattle was delayed. This is us flying over SeaTac, over the Seattle airport, flying right by it. The clock is ticking. My stress is rising. I was a bit catabolic in the moment. I will admit it. I was a bit catabolic in the moment, but this is us flying uh, by the airport that I needed to drop into to catch my connection. Little story behind the photo. Back to business. True C-suite vision doesn't happen in the weeds. It doesn't happen in a committee meeting. It doesn't happen on a Zoom call. It doesn't even happen with your partners initially. If you have partners who are stakeholders and want to create a vision for 2026, each of you should create your own and then come together and meld them. Building a vision by committee at the outset from the start is a really, really bad idea. Okay. So, that vision, that how C suite executives do it, how Bill Gates does it, is not in the weeds, right? It doesn't happen at a committee meeting or on a Zoom call. It happens at 30,000 feet, the perspective of this photograph. A few months ago, I discussed the power of stepping away. Altitude, the ability to see from altitude, is the principle in practice, that power of stepping away. It's one of the principles in practice. You get a different perspective, right? Altitude is the non negotiable space required for eight figure thought. It is non negotiable. And I mean that. You cannot think like an eight figure entrepreneur, law firm owner, founder, partner without altitude. It is not humanly possible. So today, let's calculate. Let's conduct an altitude audit. There are three, and there's a typo there, and I apologize for that. I'm going to leave it. There are three W's of altitude. Number one is the what, how you show up. If you've heard me talk before, if you've seen me on stage, you know that the foundation of my coaching is energy leadership. And you also know that energy is how you show up, your attitudes, perceptions, and beliefs. What do you bring to the endeavor? Are you thinking in a small box? Are you thinking in a medium box? Are you thinking in a large box? Are you thinking in no box at all? So, the what is the first W of altitude. The second W of altitude is where. It's the environment. It is where you put yourself to think big. Environment matters. You can't think differently. I shouldn't say can't. It's very hard to think differently in the same day to day environment. Are you going to be in the same old, same old? Or are you going to be someplace inspiring? And when? The rhythm. Yes, as I'm recording this, it is the end of a year. And so this type of big thinking, big planning ought to be going on. But it's not the only time during the year that it happens. So let's talk about your 2026 plan. Okay. Most strategic planning is actually catabolic in nature. It's reactive, it's problem solving, it's rooted in the energy of stress and, importantly, limitation. It's what I'm talking about is the core of energy leadership, right? So let's look at this. Let's look at strategic planning. It is catabolic at its core, or at best, it's a mixture of catabolic and anabolic. Okay. It's reactive. It's problem solving. We didn't hit the metrics. Why didn't we hit the metrics? It's in the weeds. It's being in the trenches, as I talked about. It's budget focused, right? This is the budget. What are our limitations, right? What can we do? What can't we do? What is the timing of the things that we can do? And it is management. At the end of the day, it is management. It is managing the business. It is not thinking big. Strategic planning is not thinking big. If strategic planning is the only thing that you do for your law firm, number one, good on you, because a lot of folks out there, believe it or not, don't do strategic planning. So if it's the only thing you do, you may be ahead of some others in the space. If it's the only thing you do, you're missing the point. Strategic planning is step two. Altitude and vision is step one. And then we take that into strategic planning. How do we make it happen? The C suite vision, right? How you vision the big stuff, you're not thinking in a large box, you're thinking in no box. There is no ceiling. That's where you're thinking. That is anabolic all day long. It is creative. It's possibility led, not problem solving. It is vision focused, not budget focused. Look, you have to dream big. You have to think big. Are budgets real? Yes. Is are financial considerations important? Yes. Will they constrain? Yes. Oh, I'm not saying that they won't. What I am saying is that if you don't think big at first, you will never really know how to push your budget, maybe how to stretch it a little bit, how to make yourself a little bit uncomfortable. And C suite vision grows you as a leader, right? So the C suite vision is anabolic, it's creative, it's about possibility, it's what builds. So the first audit question that you have for 2026, the work you're doing going into the new year is it anabolic or catabolic? Right? Is it, well, we hope to grow by 3%? Is it, we hope to grow by 5%? Is it, I want a 5x or 10x? What is it? And why? Why is it? Right? Are you thinking big? Right? So that's number one is your 2026 plan anabolic or catabolic? So that is the first W. Little behind the scenes of the photograph. This is at a place called Athumba Hill Camp in Tsavo National Park in Kenya. The flight that I was catching was taking myself and my family to Kenya for a 14-day safari. Um, this is at Athumba Hill Camp. This is the view out. The photograph doesn't do it justice. I was able to think big under the canopy of this tent as I journaled in the morning. I was able to think big. So the second W is where the environment, right? You cannot do deep identity level work on a screen. No matter how big your screen is, no matter how, Star Trekky your desk setup is. Look at me aging myself, Star Trek. But it doesn't matter how many monitors you have. None of that matters. You can't do it on a screen. Science, neuroscience tells us this. We're much better when we write things out. So you can't do identity level work on a screen. And you can't do it in 30-minute gaps between client calls. I like to think of transformation as excavation. It's not what we're doing here. It's not a webinar. You're not going to be transformed. I'll be 100% honest and transparent. You will not be transformed listening to any of my presentations. You will be transformed by taking what you learn and then going out and doing the work. Transformation is excavation. And for that, in order to excavate, environment is the catalyst. Over the past few years, I've taken this type of work that I do every year to Ketchum, Idaho. It's in the mountains by Sun Valley, Idaho. It's a 2.5-hour drive. I stay at our favorite hotel. I go to a local coffee shop. I look at the mountains all day. I think, I write, I journal, I write, I sketch the future. I do all of that. Environment is so very, very critical. I was having a coaching call. I had a client conversation the other day, and my client is fortunate enough to live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, San Diego, California. And we were talking about doing this type of work. And I said, on the plus side, you live in San Diego. And so you have this all the time. You have this wonderful outdoor environment, whether it be Balboa Park or Del Mar or La Jolla, you have this wonderful outdoor environment. And the downside is you have this wonderful outdoor environment and you don't take advantage of it. So what I suggested to him was he book a stay at a five-star local hotel, the Hotel Dell, and go there for a few days and do this work. Environment matters, right? This entire principle of altitude, it matters. You must be in a place physically, mentally, and energetically that is removed from the daily demands of your law firm. You need an environment designed solely to provoke your next level of leadership, to do what simply cannot be done in your office. Don't reserve your conference room. Don't sit at your desk. You're building something important, something big. It deserves the investment that you make in stepping away for a few days. Not only does it deserve it, it requires it. So the second W is the where. The who, right? Finally, C-suite thinking scheduled regularly on your calendar, right? I'm a firm believer, and I forget who I heard this from. Somebody, I'm sure, much smarter than I. Show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. That's it. Show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. You can't tell me it's a priority if it's not on your calendar. I guarantee you've scheduled partner meetings, you've scheduled budget reviews. Hopefully, you've scheduled partner retreats if you have partners. You may have scheduled time to review billable hours, the billing reports, maybe quarterly check ins on your KPIs. But where have you scheduled the real work, the deep, focused, uninterrupted C suite type thinking? Where have you scheduled that? Be honest. Pull your calendar up right now and take a look. Is it there? Is it there? Is that C suite thinking there? That out of the office thinking, is it there? If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. It's just a wish. Oh, I'll get to it. I'm coaching a client in another beautiful part of the United States in Seattle. And we're talking about this, right? We're talking about the need and the benefit of stepping away. So he has now committed to every Friday morning going and being at a place where he can look at the water and just think. There's no pre-described agenda. He just goes and he thinks. It is a game changer. It's been a game changer for him, and he's only been doing it for a month. It's been a game changer for him. It will be a game changer for you. I guarantee it. So, are you ready to gain altitude? That's the question that I have for you. This, what you just experienced today, as I mentioned my client in San Diego, I mentioned my client in Seattle, I could mention my client in New Delhi, India. I can mention people all over the world that I do this work with, right? This is the work I do with my private one-on-one clients. This is it. It's deep, it's immersive, and it's built around this foundational principle of altitude. Do we get into nuts and bolts? Absolutely. I practiced law for 25 years. I led a successful law firm for 16. We get into nuts and bolts. I always, though, push to have my clients think bigger, to think, to just, instead of saying that's not possible, to say, what if? What if it is possible? So I will challenge you as you think about 2026 or whatever year, whatever season you're watching this, and the altitude audit resonates with you, right? The who am I showing up as, your energy, your perspective, or is it limited? Is it limitless? Your environment, is it the same old, or do you go somewhere to think really big thoughts? And it's the who, right? Who's there? What are you doing? If that resonates with you, and if you feel that gap between the seven-figure law firm and lawyer that you are and the eight-figure CEO that you have to become in order to get to that next level, you know it inside you. Nobody has to tell you. I certainly don't have to tell you. You know you have to become someone different to have a different result, to get that different thing. Then I invite you to have a private conversation with me, right? This level of one on one coaching is a significant commitment. And honestly, it's not for everyone. I am not everyone's cup of tea, and I will freely admit that. And the work that we do, according to another client, and she had built from a solo to a multi seven figure law firm, it's the hardest work she ever did. It's not for everyone. It's for the founder who's done with incremental fixes, who's done with thinking small, who's ready to do the real foundational work that I do with every single person who teams up with me. So you can email me, tell me that you've seen this presentation, you're interested in applying for a strategy session. Not everyone gets a strategy session. There's an application process for it. Or you can go to my website, johnrkormanik.com. It's my name. And click on apply for a strategy session. You'll fill out a short questionnaire. It will take you fewer than 5 minutes. It goes to me and my team, and we evaluate whether or not you could be a good fit for the work that we do here at my coaching business. So 2026 is coming. The new year is coming. Now is the time for you to step away, to step outside of your office, to go somewhere else. Just you, no distractions, no checking email. You can check email, but no client meetings for sure. And invest, you know, a full day in just thinking. Have a pen, have a pad of paper, get out there and do it. The world needs you to be the best that you can be. The world needs you to achieve your full potential. The world is waiting for you. Your clients are waiting for you. Your team is waiting for you. Your family, your community, they're all waiting for you. Step into the space, think big, gain altitude, change your perspective. And I'll talk to you soon.